The Wild West was full of tall tales, legends, and outright lies, but some outrageous stories actually turned out to be true. Did wild camels really roam the plains? Oh, give me a home where the camel roam. Wait, that's not how it goes, but it should have. Before becoming a Wild West headliner, William Buffalo Bill Cody had been first a U.S. Army Scout, then a buffalo hunter who slaughtered thousands upon thousands of animals to feed railroad workers in their push across the country. There was a side, or maybe not so side, benefit to killing the buffalo. Native peoples relied on them for survival, so the fewer there were, we do the math. Cody seemed to like that idea, and he loved the idea of heading back to the battlefield to bank a little more fame, because in 1876, he stood on stage and announced he was done play acting and was headed back to the real thing. He shoved his costume into his saddlebags, just in case, and headed back to war. While in northern Nebraska, he and members of the 5th Cavalry fought a small band of Cheyenne at Warbonnet Creek. Before the battle began, Cody took a moment to change back into his stage costume, black velvet pants and a red silk shirt with silver buttons, and rode into battle where he shot and killed the warrior known as Yellowhair, then scalped the corpse. Cody claimed that he hoisted the barbaric trophy into the air and crowed, "The first scalp for Custer." Nobody else who was there remembered it that way, nor did any of them know General Custer, who'd been killed just a few weeks earlier at the Battle of Little Bighorn. But who knows? Could have happened.
And we had to hand it to him, because he was the only one that had brains enough to make that Wild West stuff pay money.
And once he returned to the stage, Cody zealously reenacted his big moment with increasing detail, night after night to sold-out audiences. Somewhere along the way, while holding the actual scalp aloft for the bloodthirsty crowd, Cody promoted him from warrior to chief by way of burnishing the legend in his own mind. Look, it's just good marketing. By the time William Wild Bill Hickok became Marshal of Abilene, Kansas in 1871, he already had a reputation as a gunslinger who was lightning fast on the draw. But on the night of October 5th that same year, things went south. 50 or so rowdy Texans rode into town and somebody fired off a shot. Marshal Wild Bill confronted the strangers, and one of them, a gambler named Bill Coe, drew on him and fired twice, missing both times. Hickok didn't miss. But before the smoke had cleared, Hickok's deputy, Mike Williams, came running around the corner. Hickok, who was still in quick draw mode, thought he was one of the Texans and shot and killed him. Needless to say, Marshal Hickok was out of a job. After being fired, as they say for cause, Wild Bill joined his old friend Buffalo Bill on stage, but the celebrity life didn't suit him, and he soon returned to the West.
You can be fast, accurate, confident. Some ne'er-do-well can still get lucky and lay you out.
On August 2nd, 1876, a drifter named Jack McCall shot him in the back of the head as he sat playing poker in Deadwood, South Dakota. Hickok had 2 pair, aces and eights. That's why we call it the dead man's hand. Annie Oakley, born Phoebe Ann Moses in Ohio in August 1860, showed a talent for sharpshooting from a young age. You heard right. She learned to shoot at 8 years old, but she wasn't just playing with guns. She hunted with them and sold or ate what she killed. She truly had a gift with a gun. In fact, she had such a reputation that when she was 15, a Cincinnati hotel owner set up a match between her and a traveling sharpshooter named Frank Butler. Butler was an Irishman who came to the U.S. at 13 and worked a variety of odd jobs before taking his marksman act on the road. The prize money was $100. That's more than $2,800 today. Oakley hit all 25 targets, besting Butler, who missed one, but made an excuse. He claimed, "I was a beaten man the moment she appeared, for I was taken off guard." Butler lost the match and the money, but he gained a wife and shooting partner. As Oakley's fame grew, Frank managed her affairs, and she joined Buffalo Bill's Wild West show in 1885. Butler and Oakley were married for around 50 years and died 18 days apart. Lakota Chief Sitting Bull was a fearless warrior, spiritual leader, and uniter of the Sioux against everyone who encroached on their land. But he wasn't immune to the allure of the stage. He also performed in Buffalo Bill's Wild West show in 1885 and adopted the sharpshooter Annie Oakley as his daughter.
Where he was paid to ride around the arena once during each performance, promoted as the Slayer of General Custer.
According to Blood Brothers, the story of the strange friendship between Sitting Bull and Buffalo Bill, after 4 months with the show, the chief decided to return to the Dakota Territory, saying, "The wigwam is a better place for the red man. He is sick of the houses and the noises and the multitudes of men." By December 1890, Sitting Bull was living on the Standing Rock Reservation in South Dakota. He'd become involved with the Ghost Dance movement, a Native American religion that believed in the imminent return of the buffalo and the resurgence of Native American culture. U.S. government agents, believing the movement would provoke an uprising, sent Native police to arrest Sitting Bull. Instead, they shot and killed the chief after his followers intervened to stop the arrest. But at the sound of bullets, Sitting Bull's trained gray horse, a gift from Buffalo Bill, took his cue as if he were still in the Wild West show. While the battle raged, the horse bowed, leaped into the air, and cantered in circles, among other tricks. The Wild West and the horse are irrevocably intertwined. Horses were first reintroduced by Spanish explorers in the 1500s. Making sure we mention the part for all of you "there were horses in North America once" folks out there. But they weren't the only animals roaming the deserts at the time. In 1856, the U.S. Army brought 31 camels to Texas. A year earlier, Congress had given then Secretary of War Jefferson Davis $30,000 to purchase the animals from North Africa and the Middle East. Davis believed camels would be perfect for use in the country's westward expansion, being desert beasts of burden and all. In 1857, Davis shipped 41 more out west. But by the time the Civil War kicked off, all of the camels had been either sold, slaughtered, or set free. For years afterward and into the 20th century, wild camels were seen in the deserts of Arizona, California, New Mexico, and Texas. Wild West camels, for real. The last credible sighting related to that original batch of camels was in 1929 in California.